What up guys, my name's Dart and welcome to the second video in my What Went Wrong series. In this video I'm going to show you two attacks which I did in my most recent clan war. One of them was a success, one of them was a pretty abject failure. And I want to talk a little bit about the kind of teething problems that you have when you move up to a new town hall. So I mentioned in the first video that if you have a failure in clan wars, it basically comes into one of two categories. It was either a failure in planning or a failure in execution. And when you move up to a new town hall, most of your failures are going to be failures in planning. Basically, that's because you don't know the limitations yet of what your army or what the enemy base is capable of. So it takes a little while to learn those. I did that at Town Hall 9 before I made my YouTube channel, so it was over a year ago. So you guys didn't get to see that, but now obviously you are getting to see this. So I attacked this base and I used I used an attack which the Clash Heads used on us in the war that we had with them. It's sort of an EQ go-ho, and that was stupid for two reasons. Firstly, because there's an element of this attack which I'm not comfortable with, the Archer Queen walk, and there's also, well, they modded their attacks. So they practiced them, they would have known that they were going to succeed before they started, so obviously we aren't able to do that, so I shouldn't have tried to copy their attack, basically. Now, before I carry on, there is an element of this attack I said that I'm not comfortable with, and I would like to talk a little bit about it, because I've never done an Archer Queen walk on my channel. I've tried them while I was farming, and I've watched hundreds, I mean so many of them, just to try and understand why it works and how it works. And the reason I haven't done any is because the conclusion I've come to, having watched a lot of them, is if you see a perfectly executed Archer Queen walk, that attack was modded. Now, I'm going to stick my neck out on this, and I know it's not going to be popular, some people don't want to hear this, but if you see an Archer Queen walk and the timing on it is perfect, obviously she has to go inside the base at a certain time to do something important inside the base, otherwise there's no value to it. If she goes inside at the right time, if she has the exact number of healers that she needs, if the rage goes down on the healers at the right time, if she uses the Queen cloak with 1 second to spare, if she kills the enemy Queen, if everything looks perfect, and obviously, usually, people are still deploying troops on the other side of the base at the same time, there's just no way you can do that. The reason I'm telling you this isn't to throw any other YouTubers under the bus. It slightly annoys me when supposedly fair play YouTube channels upload either them or someone else doing one of these attacks, because what it does is it gives you guys unrealistic expectations. Those attacks aren't legit. They are modded. And obviously if you then try and copy them and you can't pull it off to the same degree, then you're going to think that you suck, but obviously you don't. It's just that those YouTubers aren't being honest with you about the way those attacks were created. So I thought, hey, while I'm working on this, I might as well show you one of the failures that I've had with this attack. So I used one too many healers, probably. Having watched it back, I didn't need 4. I don't think I could have done this with 3. I'm going to walk the Queen all the way down here. In the meantime, I'm also going to send in the King and a couple of golems and some redheads up the top to take out the enemy Queen, then drop an earthquake up here. Now, the real problem with the Archer Queen walk is the timing's off. I was, I don't know, maybe 20 seconds, I suppose, too quick with the kill swap, maybe even half a minute. So she doesn't do anything useful, really. She just takes out a few of the edge buildings and the King, and that's really all she does. But as I say, I don't think that unless you actually get to practice the attack, I don't think that you can really honestly expect much more than that. So, you're not going to see any Archer Queen walk tutorials on my channel. Anyway, the King goes in up the top. Down goes the earthquake. They open up the core. They managed to get into the middle of the core. I had a few hogs left over, so the plan was to send them sort of orbiting around the base and take out some extra defences while the Infernos were busy with my King and the golems and everything. But that didn't really work out because everything died in the core so fast that obviously the Queen never managed to get in to help them out, take out those expos, and the hogs just got chewed up by the Inferno towers. So that's that. I should say, I'm not obviously saying that every Archer Queen walk you've ever seen has been modded. If it's done badly or it's kind of sloppy or the Queen sometimes goes in the wrong direction or there are too many healers or whatever, but they still manage to get the 3-star, then I'm sure that can be done and that's perfectly legit, particularly at Town Hall 9. But this attack was invented by players that mod, and it is almost exclusively the preserve of them if done absolutely perfectly. So, moving on, this was my other attack. Now, this is an attack I'm far more comfortable with. This was a Lightquake Go Lava. And you guys know I did a couple of 3-stars on Town Hall 10s at Town Hall 9 with this, so I've mostly got Town Hall 9 troops. I haven't upgraded all my army camps yet. In fact, I haven't upgraded any of my army camps yet. And on this attack, we're going to drop a couple of minions in at the top to make sure the heroes go in the right place, and then look at this for a high value light quake. So the quake and the 3 lightnings, and we get 4 defenses there, which that's pretty cool. So in goes the queen, couple of golems, then the wall breakers and the king. Now the queen is trying to take out the air defense, which is right in front of her. Out comes the enemy CC, which is a bad CC actually. It all dies to that poison spell. The king takes out the enemy queen. Now quickly, I'm going to pause this because there's an important thing to do with pathing, which I don't think I've ever referred to on my channel before, but it's a trick I learned ages and ages ago, and I probably should have shared it. When you have a base like this, with this sort of triangular section at the top or at the bottom, you have usually 1 defense here, and then in the second level 2 more defenses. The way to kill all 3 of those with 1 set of balloons is you have to put them in 2 halves. So if you put them in on either side of that top defense, in this case it's the cannon, what that means is when the cannon dies, there are half that are over on this side of the cannon and half that are over on the far side of the cannon. That means that they're each going to split and they're going to take 1 wizard tower each. Whereas if you drop all of them in at 12 o'clock, then all of the balloons are going to stay together, they'll group up and they'll just take out 1 wizard tower and not both of them. So that's how you get rid of defenses which look like that. So let's see that in action in a second. So in go the balloons, you'll see, there they are, 4 of them gone in, 2 pairs. They take out that cannon and then split 2 and 2. So that's how to beat that. Then in go 3 hounds, spam balloons behind them basically. I've taken 3 haste spells. I'm loving the haste spells at Town Hall 10. I get a lot more value out of them here because obviously there's more of the base to cover because there's more defenses at Town Hall 10. And you have fewer spells, so you can't really afford to waste anything. That last haste spell was pretty clutch. That managed to take all the balloons into that Inferno tower. I will say, if both Infernos had been on multi-target, I probably wouldn't have done this attack. But again, that's what it comes down to. It's about understanding your limitations at the new Town Hall level. So we've got loads of balloons left. They split nicely. Yeah, this attack really went to plan. It wasn't the heaviest of Town Hall 10s. I think it was 83k was the weight, and obviously the design is a pretty bad design. But I wanted to show you guys what happens when you plan one well, and also what happens when you plan one badly. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up, and do share it with your clan mates. Obviously, the more people we get to join our little community here, the more videos I get a chance to make. And if you have any questions all about anything, really, then leave them below, and I'll do my best to answer them. And until the next time, guys, happy clashing.